but turn it around. Life can bring us down, but turn it around.
Hello and welcome to Apostate Coalition. We are a collaboration channel bringing you news, entertainment, and education about high control religion. And tonight I have these beautiful men above me. Just look at that face. And we are going to discuss the fluffing of the numbers, the cooking of the numbers that the Jehovah's Witnesses are doing to make it look like they have a lot of people. So let's dive into it. Oh, there's a fly.
There was a fly. Now it's gone.
That is just a prophecy as to what is coming, because we are going to give the Jehovah's Witness organization a smackdown. Y'all, these numbers are looking sickly.
Indeed.
That we are not seeing the growth that we used to see. And even the growth that we do see, I think it's cooked. I think they're fudging.
So we got somebody all the way here from New Zealand.
Oh, it's brilliant. We
really?
got someone from Camino, you say.
Welcome.
Hello
Welcome
there.
aboard.
Really?
Welcome. We should say hi to who's in the chat. I should say hi,
Yes.
Dan D. Hello. Oh, Michelle. Hello. Why aren't you on here, Michelle? Hello. Derp.
Oh, this one.
Ron. Novum. Fizz. Forma to Free. Hey.
Yes.
I guess
And
we're just beautiful. More beautiful.
And the infamous Ron Pimo.
Yes, COVID agent Ron, Gus Swanson himself.
It's the goat. It's the bat.
Yes. Oh,
We're all goats as far as I understand.
Demonized goats.
Yes. We have a quick crisis joining us too.
Can you really see through that mask, Darth? Or is the force guiding you?
As Mark Hamill once said, I can't see a darn thing in this thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing about wearing a costume or whatever. Yeah, you can't see so well.
It works itself out over the course.
Okay, so Michelle said that she could join in 10 minutes. Awesome. Because the more the merrier. We'd have more numbers here. We might have more numbers in this stream.
Permission to board. Oh my.
It's possible.
Oh.
It's possible. Although we can always just say that we did have thousands of people here. I mean,
it wouldn't be wrong, right? You know, if we count do we count the YouTube watch hours as part of our time?
yeah, yes, that is absolutely part of our community.
Okay with that.
We report that. That's part of our reports. So
Right.
we're all pioneering.
Back in the days, my service hours were garbage, so this is much better.
Speaking of the hours, should we hold off to wait to see if XJ Witch pops on, or do you want to talk about let the audience know what the hours have been arranged?
Are we talking about the 2022 numbers?
Yeah, we're talking about 2022 numbers, but I got you
covered.
But I was just saying
22.
That now to Auxiliary Pioneer, you only have to have 15 hours, right? 15 hours.
That's kinda nuts.
So I thought you were talking about number. Well, I was going to read for you guys. I was going to read. I was going to read the 2022 numbers.
Well, I do want to talk. I want to talk about all the numbers because I think they're cooking everything.
Let's start with that. Okay, so 2022 numbers. And the sons of Israel, the entire assembly proceeded to pull away from Kadesh and come to Mount. Wait, hang on.
Wrong numbers. That's the.
Although it's an
Wait a minute.
It's an oddly appropriate verse for what's going to come.
I think their numbers
fair.
will cause lamentations.
Ah.
Is it
Ooh,
is it
So
foreshadowing an Exodus?
I think so.
all right, I'm out of here, dads.
Sorry. You don't want to
Dad
leave the
jokes.
stream.
And even worse, they're biblical dad jokes.
I've got the beard going. Hello
I
there.
was going to say, I don't think I've actually showed my apprentice my book of Bible stories. I want them to grow up well-adjusted, so I don't show them that.
Thank
We've
goodness.
got James in the wings. Are you driving, James?
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen the comments yet.
I don't know
James?
if YouTube will have a problem with somebody that might be considered like a dangerous thing. I don't know. Will it pick that up? Will it know? I know TikTok
honestly-
will bounce you if
I know
they see you in a car.
TikTok does. I
Yeah.
know TikTok does, but I honestly don't know anything about the YouTube stuff.
Well, you know what? Let's live dangerously. So
Let's live
Hello.
dangerously.
Hey,
Hi,
hello
James.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
doing
We're
well,
good.
doing well.
We're honored that you could join us.
There we go.
We can
So-
see you. That works.
So I
If
was,
you-
oh, go ahead.
Pardon?
What were you going to say, James?
Oh, I was going to say, I was hoping that there was going to be some new revelation about the numbers coming out soon.
You got one too.
Nice. If
Yeah, I've
YouTube
gotta-
asks, you're just running really fast.
Yeah, that's all.
There you go.
It's
we've
so
got
dark,
another.
I might not even be able to tell.
Okay, we're
There you
gonna
go.
make this a quintet. No, what is that?
Oh, that person.
Quartet.
Yeah, that's a whole squadron now.
A pentet?
Quartet.
Works for me.
I think quintet is correct. Like
We're gonna be a pentagram.
Oh.
There you go.
There we are.
Kyle.
Hey,
Welcome.
I don't
Did
have much time, but I'm here.
I
Okay,
appreciate
Kyle
your-
doesn't have a lot of time, so is there stuff that you got to talk about, Kyle, while you're here?
Yes,
Yes,
the floor
I
is
just-
yours.
Kyle? Hello? Kyle? Knock, knock, Kyle. Kyle, did we lose you? Oh,
no, I'm
darn.
still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, we
Yes.
can hear you. Yeah, go ahead,
Yes,
Kyle.
okay.
Tell us what you wanted to tell us.
I can hear you, but it's kind of choppy. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
That was weird.
We
Okay,
are a little
so,
weird, but that's okay.
I'll
Sorry.
try to. I sent some screenshots to Jonathan. Basically, I was looking over the numbers for the past 10 years on jw.org.
Oh, okay.
From 2012 going to now, and just noticing the differences in how they're really declining. And also there was a graph I sent you that shows like the memorial partakers,
Yes.
and in particular for that, ever since 2005, I believe, they have been increasing like amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
It's doubled, right? I think it's like more than doubled since 2005.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up while.
I think there are around 20,000 partakers right now.
21,000, I think, from the last numbers.
New numbers was over 21,000.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
So how is
It's
it
over
going?
9,000.
I'm
So
so
it-
confused.
Is that to say that there are a lot of anointed that just like screw this and left, and and Jehovah's replacing them?
Oh,
But correct
I
me if
guess
I'm wrong,
they could
though.
always say that.
In the book of Revelation, when it says the number 144,000, doesn't it divvy it up between like 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
part's symbolic, though. That's not the same thing, probably, maybe.
No, but you're right. Like if you go read the context of it, that's how you know when like if Jesus was, really the Messiah, he would have been able to pull all the 12 tribes back together. But that's like not
Context.
gonna happen.
We don't need
But
no
even if-
stinking context.
Even if that
Yeah.
was true and everything, that means all the numbers would have been sealed a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So how are they gaining numbers and momentum with?
But
I'm honestly,
it's
I'm
not exactly
don't get
the right kind of momentum either, because if you think about it, the memorial was supposed to be all on Zoom, so it wasn't like there was new people off of the street that were confused. These are people that are in the organization that are claiming to be anointed.
Right. This is self-reported.
Made it.
You made it.
Okay.
Yeah,
In 2012, there was actually 10,000 less partakers back then.
Okay, so in 2012, wait, say this again.
In 2012, there was only partakers.
How many?
So there were 12,000, and now there's 21,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there's 12,000 in 2012, and it's basically, not
That's
quite
nutty.
doubled. It's not
Almost
quite
doubled. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, almost. That's significant. So what the frick is, because you know what, like, really threw me for a loop? I'm sure you all have heard Dax. Have you heard of Dax? Like, she's one of the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
she's
scholar,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah, Dax is scholar. But
Yep.
yeah, because she was talking about, well, she interviewed somebody who was like a newly, relatively newly, like not that many years ago, one of the anointed, and then there was a congregation where there was like a few people who like all of a sudden said they were anointed. So what is happening?
That
Is this
happened
gonna-
right before I left. Like my
Did
friend's
it?
dad was just suddenly like, "Okay, I'm anointed," and partook, and we were like,
Stop it.
But then you're told not to question, and if you're questioning them, you're spiritually weak. But it was really, really odd to me because his daughter had been disfellowshipped twice, and his son was not living an exactly stellar baptized J-Dub life. So, yeah.
I wonder if that's...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I wonder if that's being spurred on because a prophecy is not being fulfilled. So more people are like, oh, maybe I'm part of it. And that number will increase then it can be fulfilled. I don't know. Sorry.
No, actually.
But they all got mental problems anyways. That's how the governing body likes to
Right.
spin it off too.
They'll throw it away.
It was that overlapping generation. That was
Hey.
it. It was the overlapping generation. They changed that. That busted the whole thing wide open. That meant that the stealing wasn't done in 1935, and that covers over guys like all the offhanded chants that somebody knows about Ray Franz, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And on
Was it Ray
JW
Franz or
Fast,
Fred Franz? I can't remember which Franz it was.
ever since
I think it was
they
Ray.
introduced
That's
that
right.
overlapping generation teaching, that's really when they started to have a decline, which was like in 1995. After they introduced that teaching of the overlapping generation, the numbers have begun to trickle slowly downward.
Don't mind me. I'm just tweeting. Sorry.
No worries.
Don't
I
mind me,
can't
I'm just
spell.
staring off into
I
space.
feel like a lot of things that the organizations come up with is what you could call Bible fan fiction.
You mean
Yeah.
like that Talia character that they had for the last Caleb and Sophia? Like they're making up made up Bible stories.
Yeah, they can just
Right.
make up characters, make up Bible books. They can make up Bible studies if they want to, imaginary Bible studies.
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't a YouTube comment a Bible study though? I thought that was a thing. Isn't that how that works?
Kyle, did you... I wanted to go through those numbers myself, but I got talking so much I didn't get to it. For when they post their different numbers, did they start changing how the statistics were, how they were pulling statistics? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but did they go from like publishers being important to now like because now they don't tell you how many baptized people total they have, but they tell you how many people who are ministers. Like, are they changing like, are they changing the labels as to what they're revealing to people to, again, cook their numbers, make it look like something?
2012, the baptized number was almost 270,000.
Okay.
But it wasn't total baptized though. Like I think it was still showing average publishers and peak
Yeah,
publishers.
it was
I
just
think, right?
average publisher. Now it just says total baptized, I think. Because now the total baptized is only 1,405,000. So
See what the totals up
145,000.
on there.
That's like,
Oh yeah.
that's a decrease of over 100,000.
That's a huge decrease. And also considering that they almost lose 100,000. I mean, not quite, but if they're losing 75K to disfellowshipping every year, that's a huge like leak. That's a big bleed that they're suffering from. So that number's really not giving them too much to work with.
I think
Didn't
it's
they
saying.
used to
more than
publish?
that, honestly.
Have lost a lot of hours in the ministry too, because they used to be over 2 billion and now it's gone down to 1.7 billion.
Or less than that, 1.5.
Yeah, I think maybe 1.5. Yeah.
Dear. So they really are not doing well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually
guess
did just do a little bit of it, a little bit of the Bible math there, and it looked like they had a net gain of about, if I remember correctly, I pulled up the numbers, I did a little video about it, but the net gain was only about 34,000 publishers for their average publishers versus the peak and all that. So I can only imagine that, I mean, they've got, if they baptized 145,000, which they roughly did, that would mean that the better part of 110,000 either went inactive or left entirely. That's the only course of action. So it's more than 80,000. They're really bleeding.
yeah, that's very bad. So
Oh, sorry. I just saw a comment here. JW Nemo says, "Hey guys, did anyone or everyone see the video that the Blue Envelope did on the cycling of lower hours?"
oh no, I'll have to see that.
I watched that the other day while I was
Oh,
working.
yes.
It's very good.
Yeah, it was a good video. Yeah, definitely check that one out.
And of course,
Hey.
this circles back to the pioneering thing as to why they're changing the goalposts to try to make their numbers look better, because they talk about an increase in Bible studies, but actually the numbers even there compared to just a few years ago are really not that great.
And that's even considering that they're reducing the requirements to consider it a Bible study. Is that correct? Aren't they saying that like 15 minutes can be a Bible study, a return
even
visit can be a Bible study?
Yeah, they could do doorstep Bible studies now, which could be easily maybe 5 minutes at the door. You go,
Right.
you share scripture. That's a Bible study.
And
They're
these
fluffing
J-dubs
that
have
up,
it too
man.
easy.
They're fluffing up them numbers. That's really
Yeah.
cooked.
I wish I could stand at a cart when I was pioneering and just count my hours doing nothing. That would have been great.
No, I'm a big advocate for saying that the
We call
cart
it
is
street
not doing
witnessing.
nothing, because generally if you're on the carts, you're spending the day out in field service, like doing door knocking, then going to carts, then going to the meeting, then doing evening service. At least it was the case for me and other members in my congregation. But as to your point, like it does look like that, but it was very hectic. As soon as I got put on the carts, that was it. I was extremely busy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They make your life so regimented. That's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, 15-minute Bible studies, I feel like that's
Yes, Brother Magog.
Yes, I have a question for the congregation.
Okay.
So here's my question. So knowing, in addition to their fluffy little doorstep Bible studies, knowing that they're counting time via the internet now, like YouTube comments, Facebook comments, all that good type of stuff, and they also have Zoom Bible studies and virtual Bible studies, how is it that compared to 2019, they had, I think it was 9.6 million Bible studies, and they just dropped down to 5.6 million this year, and they've been steadily declining every year. I think 2020 was 7.5 million, 2021 was something like 6 million, they're down to 5 point, and here's the joke, 666 million, 5.666 million. So there it is, it's Satan's word, of course. But now that it's getting so much easier to access these people, and they're just dropping like flies. How many Bible studies they're getting, the pioneer hours, like the proportions aren't right. It takes 10,000 hours now of preaching to baptize somebody with unlimited ways to reach people, not just door to door, not just with stupid cards, but you know, the internet, Zoom, everything. Why do you guys think it's dropping like that? What could possibly be happening?
How many
Apostates.
hours did you say it takes to get baptized?
So they had 145,552 baptisms, I want to say, and it was 1,501,000,000 and some change hours. So you divide that out, and you get 10,317 hours of preaching per baptism.
Jeez.
So I actually have
you
a
want a
chart.
comparison? Here, hold up. Let me give you the comparison.
Well.
6,803 hours is how much it took in 2019.
I believe this was on JW Facts about what he's talking about. Basically, yeah, it's actually it's over 10,000 hours just to baptize like one person.
I would have never reached that. I would have never reached that.
Like, how many of you saw people come in off the street to the point where they got baptized? Like, it was just like, I can only think of
Very
one
few.
person.
One person.
Very few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you know
one
what?
person.
Not effective.
See, that's where I think I'm different. And I think that's because of the lifestyle that my parents had left. Oh, shit. I didn't turn my light back on. Like being
You need a new
drug
light.
addicts.
Join the dark
I can't
side.
afford my electricity bill, guys. But
Call the
because my
governing
parents
body,
were,
they'll shoot some
That's why
light.
they're reducing the hours, because no one can afford their electricity bill.
That's exactly what they said, though. You're right.
I need a donation. I need your money, please. I need your money to turn my lights on. Don't you care about me?
Just leave it in Jehovah's hands.
Then nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna starve. Okay.
I'm gonna need the resurrection because I'm dead after that joke.
We'll pay you in the new system.
Yeah,
I'll be
you get
right back.
paid by building buildings.
Store up treasures in heaven, Ryan.
That's right.
Thanks for that great advice.
I was thinking they need to go back to the old system of you buy the magazines and then you sell it for profit.
But there's a reason they stopped that, wasn't there?
Yeah,
They
X-Axis.
Yeah, okay.
They got roped in with a televangelist. I forget his name. They tried to benefit from a court case to shore up the fact that they were tax-free and could just make money and stuff. And he lost the case. So they're like, whoops. So we better get out. So then it became the generous support of the brothers, you know, Jehovah will provide and that sort of thing.
And how many people how many of you actually asked for donations at the door?
Never.
I did. I used to.
Oh yeah, I used to too.
When I
that's
started being a publisher, it was just fading out from asking.
And thank you for popping in, Kyle. I know you've gone off into the void, so we do appreciate your contribution.
Sorry, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
Hopefully Kyle can pop back in. We appreciate that. So no, I didn't see that the Watchtower just bought a $27 million building in Woodbury, New York.
NPC
What
just shows that.
Ask and you shall receive.
NPC just posted that.
Hi, Kyle.
Sorry, I had to go for a second.
Ah, no worries.
It's okay.
Did you go for a poo? No, just kidding.
A
Sorry.
little poo-poo. It's a little
No, just
poo-poo
giving you
in it.
salivations.
I'm in Walmart, so.
Okay. You'll fit right in on this conversation then, so don't worry.
Because you got to save more when you're a poor Jehovah's Witness.
That's exactly
I figured
right.
that, you know,
Do some
if
hours.
I'm walking and talking, that counts as preaching, right? As I'm
There
speaking
you
out
go.
loud about Jehovah.
Get those 50 hours in, Kyle.
Make
That's
sure you
right.
count your time.
I need to send you some of those cards so you can just be like, you know, make it rain with those apostate cards.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, those
I think-
those XJWs, they litter. Damn it.
I think the governing body should adopt Walmart's logo. Expect more.
Get less.
Get less.
Nice.
Oh, brother.
I'm
Okay.
still trying. Just I wanted to interject something here. I'm trying to figure out this whole making it interesting and dynamic by changing the layout. So if it gets a little wonky, I apologize. I'm new at this. This is my first
That's
official
okay.
live.
You know, I don't want to hear your excuses about live mess ups. I mean, Ryan, you know our show runs perfectly every week.
Yes, we never have issues. We never have mistakes. We've never
No.
had a blank screen for 3 minutes straight.
Well, no, I think it was like
Never
5
happened.
minutes, but
Never happened.
don't worry about that.
We're doing okay considering we don't have a content cat.
We're all paid professionals here, guys. So we got to get our shit together.
Wow.
Okay?
I
You guys
wanted to
get
briefly
paid?
Also
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
mention the responses that we've seen, at least in my local area, to the reduced hours and online.
It's
You know,
Cal's
a
time
lot
to
of
shine.
witnesses are just so happy. They're like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is a blessing from Jehovah.
Really?
We're so thankful."
Ugh.
I love the logic on that. Like we have fewer preaching hours. We're not getting very many baptisms. So the solution to that is preach less.
But the work is speeding up.
Work is
Yes.
speeding
So-
up.
So I have a question, y'all. So I just about their numbers. Like today, when if you saw in the comments, I was asking about Russia in particular because I was just taking notice that okay, they lost a country because I was looking between 2021 and 2020, or I forget. Anyway, but the country went down, and then there was like a loss of over 1,000 kingdom halls. But when I took the number of like the supposed people in Russia who were Jehovah's Witnesses, and I like divvied up between that difference, it was like 100 and I don't know 60 people per kingdom hall. So either they're like doubling up, there's 2 congregations in each kingdom hall, or they had a lot of, I don't know, something doesn't seem to make sense. Like,
So-
I don't know, it doesn't add up to me.
Didn't they merge recently? Over the last, I say recently, but recently when I was in, so up until 2020, they had just merged all the congregations, and it was like that. There was, where it used to be less than 100 people per kingdom hall, there was at least 120, from my recollection. So I think it's like a combination of that. Like they've merged it, and yeah, it's made that bulked up the congregations.
Okay, so that's
Another thing
another way.
interesting about the 2012 numbers was that over 10 branches have actually closed in the last 10 years.
Oh, that's a lot of branches. So I know we have the Norway one closed because they're doing their nonsense. What are they calling it? The freedom of religion department, because they definitely need a freedom of religion department. Although it's only going to be of one religion, so how free is that? But what do I know?
I know they combined, like back in 2012 or something like that. I believe that they combined some of the branches between some of the Nordic countries up there, I guess, and put them in, was it Denmark? I don't remember. I saw it on one of the JW websites, but I just felt like, is that another way to make it seem to people? Like, even though they're saying, oh, we got to build these kingdom halls, if they're selling off kingdom halls and combining them, like to you and me, it does make it look like there's a bunch of people there. It seems more full. I don't know. Like, is that the purpose of it? And then all the while they're selling?
Because that also, well, I'll let someone else chime in on this, but the way I figured it's because they had low attendance and they got to get the halls filled. So they're cramming in as many people as they can, factoring out the 5% of people that they know are going to miss every week, just so they can flip whatever extra hall and then say, hey, by the way, we need some more kingdom halls, so let's have you guys build some, donate the land, donate the labor, and then when we get tired, we're going to merge you again and flip it again. That's just my theory. But I'll let someone else chime in on that.
Anybody? Anybody?
Well, I know
Wow.
the area of Florida that I left back in 2013, they had just built a new double hall down there, and there was at least 3 congregations that were going to start meeting there after it was built. And two of them were already meeting in one old building, but another one was coming from another building elsewhere in the area to merge all into that one building. So it makes it look like they have bigger numbers by cramming more of the same people in the same areas. And then they had two old buildings that they were able to then sell off, but still, like Magog was saying, it's an illusion on how they look like they're growing, but they're really not.
Yeah, I really honestly think that's kind of what they're doing here. They're just they're moving and manipulating and keeping everything difficult to pinpoint, because I remember stuff being split up and switched around when I was going that didn't need to happen. Like there was no freaking reason for some of the shenanigans that they pulled. And I think it's really just like a sleight of hand. Oh, look what's happening here. Oh, no, we need to sell that Kingdom Hall. We need to sell that Kingdom Hall.
Order, even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't you dare question it either if it doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, that's the purpose of us discussing some of these things, because inside of the religion, I would have never even thought to think about this. Like whenever they would give out when they would give out the numbers, the yearly reports, I just look at like baptized or whatever and be like, oh, we increase, like that's dope, whatever, and not really think about what's truly happening. But
I also thought it was interesting in that vein as well, how they say 239 lands instead of saying that they're in 195 countries, which is, how the rest of the world operates.
They don't do anything normal.
A little bit on Twitter, because it makes it sound like they've got, 40 extra countries that are sending witnesses around, when really it's just they're counting island territories as lands instead of going by 195 countries. So it's I feel like that's kind of cheeky.
It is fair. No, I think that's a way of being cheeky and cooking the numbers. I never thought about that, but yeah.
It's bothering me all day.
Does anybody remember when they used to publish how many people left every year?
No, when did they do that?
I seem to remember that as a kid. Their yearly reports would have like just a certain amount of number who left. They never said why they left or anything, but they would show like X amount of number of people who left, and then you could compare it with how many people came in that year, and you would be like, oh wow, we're still really growing good though. I remember that as a kid.
I think you're right. It might have been like inactive. They might have reported like how many people were inactive or something. But I remember that. That's why that's why. But I'm positive they continue to just change what they're reporting to make it look like something's happening when it's not. And if you're not careful, really pinpointing, like I never did, you wouldn't realize what they're doing.
And also, like, most of this is not true, because as we know, like, there are PMOs that are still reporting but not going out. But it's bolstering the numbers and bolstering the field service hours, which is, so I would not I would not look at the numbers and be like, yes, that's legit.
All my PMO friends, can you please start reporting like 100 hours a month? Just
no, you only need 50 to be a pioneer now.
I'm going to go down to 1.
and they'll just gloat when the hours are better.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
I started 70 new Bible studies in the last 6 days.
Wow. Where'd you meet all these people? Like, I thought you worked from home. Yeah, but
you must be using the Force.
Multiple personalities.
The power of mass emails.
It's my overlapping Bible study hour.
Now, wait a minute. How come I can't just have a live stream and have Bible studies with people?
Exactly.
I mean, technically,
exactly.
There's any rule that says you can't do it. That's the real question.
Right. Where is it? Where does in the Bible it tell me that I can't do a live stream?
Yeah.
And
preach. Let's look up in the Bible, Zoom.
Guys, you know that we got commenters. You guys know the one. I'll let you know what letter his name starts with. You know the one. That's counting time by arguing with us in the comments.
Oh,
You know the one.
Sorry.
Oh,
do we have a
I
John
I
might
just
have
Center?
somebody blocked.
starts with a V. John knows the one.
Starts with a V.
He might be gone. I don't know.
And these
Oh,
comments,
yeah. And it
I
could
didn't
be
see
somebody
anyone.
that I've already blocked.
He might have already blocked him, but no, I had someone actually drop in a new JW prophecy. I don't think it's an official one, but it was one, something about 2034 being the year, but I'm not sure if it's real JW doctrine or if it was just someone BSing.
Hey, sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Really?
Don't mind me. I thought I should actually have some of the numbers on the screen that we could discuss. So
Oh,
I'm
good
just creating different tabs here with the various years.
Yeah,
One
I
thing
wanted to do
also,
that, and I'm so
probably
sorry I
like-
didn't.
yeah.
I wanted to mention before I go, this is kind of good news in a way for us as apostates because, 2012, I looked at it, the average growth was almost 2% that year. But now we're all the way down to 0.4%. And last year it was 0.7. And the year before that it was like 1.4, I think. So at this rate, in only a few more years, it's going to go negative.
They
No,
can't sustain that.
They had one year they reported negative growth at like negative 0.4. I forget what year it was.
Yeah.
As a business model, that's not very sustainable. Now, I understand that they don't have much expenditures because they get, they do have a lot of expenditures, but everything that they receive is free. But even still,
Oh, I was
if
going to
they don't
comment
have
on that.
people donating,
It was negative 0.7, I believe, in 2020. That's when we saw the drop off. So it was very recent, actually.
Well, let's take a look at some numbers. What say you?
Excellent.
Okay, so I've got 2019 up here, obviously. Let's see, let's take a little jump to 2020 and see how that, where did it go? It's gone. Oh, well, I guess 2021.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the comparison there? So congregations went down by about 500 in that time frame. If we look to the currently, it's even by 2,000 from last year. Well, not quite 2,000 actually, because it's 119, 200, 300 or so to we got 117.9. Still significant though.
So call it about 1,400.
pardon me, guys. I'm just over here coughing. Don't mind me.
Don't die.
Don't die, Ryan. There's no resurrection.
It's just the Holy Spirit coming. Coronavirus!
No!
It's just the Holy Spirit.
No!
Testify, Sister Ryan. Testify.
No.
Oh no.
All we need is a gospel singer now.
You gotta learn to use your intense right winger evangelical voice and tell those demons to leave.
Justify.
Okay, Mr. Locke.
I was trying to invoke Mr. Locke there. Mission
I felt
accomplished.
it coming through. It was like
All right.
the Holy Spirit coming through with that one, man.
So when did they change their Bible study numbers? This is all recent, right? So we're not going to see any reflection of that till
Oh no,
next
that
year.
was 2019. That was 2019. Before
Okay,
they
so-
changed it even.
No, I
Let's
mean
see,
when did they change like the requirements for it to call something a Bible study?
It was during
Is
the pandemic because they were.
Oh, it was.
they were
Okay,
kind
I'm
of
sorry.
struggling yeah, so they made a lot of changes during the pandemic, like virtual witnessing was approved. With the Zoom meetings and the online Bible studies, they let pretty much anything go at that point. Anything went during the pandemic.
Okay.
And to Kyle's point earlier, so over 2018, 2019 was 1.3, and then you got this 0.4.
Mm.
Yeah,
Not
see those
good.
Bible studies on the bottom. Look at those Bible studies on the bottom. Look at how sad that looks.
We got oh, each month
I like that middle
5.6.
number though.
Right? Now compare that to 2019. Just
666.
go back to 2019 and look at how big a drop that is in just like it's
Ooh.
down 4 million in just 4 years.
Whoa.
That's nuts.
4 million. That's almost half. So they're not starting any new ones, and the ones they have either aren't progressing or just gave up on it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, because sometimes I forget stuff, and that this doesn't help. But when I was younger, when they would report how many people were Jehovah's Witnesses, was it baptized? Like, who were they? Or is it publishers? Like, as long as you're a publisher up, that's like how.
I was never quite clear on that.
In my
I
day,
think they
it
count
was
publishers.
publishers. It was publishers back in my day, and that included unbaptized publishers.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
Because you had to live the lifestyle anyways, so I guess they kind of counted it.
Okay, so it's not baptized; it's publishers.
Right.
As long as you're active, basically being a publisher, you're counted as a Jehovah's Witness.
Right. It's like the Jedi Knights. They only counted like knights,
think
but
in
they still
terms of
had
numbers,
Padawans
yeah.
and younglings and things like
Okay,
that.
yeah,
that were
just in terms of
active.
numbers, Michelle.
Yeah. I think you're an unbaptized publisher, you can still get away with stuff. Like,
Right,
outside
yeah.
the numbers.
I think they would count the Jedis who work in the lunchroom
So this is the thing.
dishing out
So
mashed potatoes.
So their numbers are only growing because they're lowering the hours. Like they're lowering the requirements to be a publisher. That's the only
Right,
reason.
I was going to ask, didn't they used to have like a publisher requirement? It used to be like 20 hours for
Yeah.
regular publisher, there was 50 hours for auxiliary pioneer, then 70 something for auxiliary, right?
I thought there was required time when I was younger, but I don't remember what it was.
The average used to be 10.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, about 10.
Yeah.
That sounds about
As
right.
long
mean,
as you hit like the national average, you were good.
You're
Yeah.
encouraged
Okay,
to
right,
get 10 or more. If you
And I
drop down to
gotta
10,
go,
it
but
was
one
like,
last thing I was
are
going
you
to mention
okay?
before
Thank
I
you
hop
so
off.
much, Kyle. Go
Before
ahead.
I hop off is that I mentioned this on chat, but I wanted to make sure it was on the stream, is that elders are also definitely trying to get people to lie about their time. Even whenever people don't remember their time, there's been multiple opportunities, even in my case, where I've told them that I don't have any time and they still say, well, let's just put an hour down or something, So you can definitely feel like that's probably happening all across the organization because they want their numbers to look good.
Theocratic warfare indeed. Wow.
Yeah, that's wild to me. So basically, every time they lower their hours, they get to count how many more million or whatever people, thousands, to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Well,
They're going
before it was
backwards
mentioned about
to try to move forwards.
Right. That's what essentially that's exactly what they did. They've done. Wow. That is so fucking deceitful, yo.
Going back to the blue envelope, their video, I didn't even realize that the numbers were that high originally. So when the pioneers first came about, they were supposed to have an average of 150 hours a month. Can you even imagine that? So think about that. It's a third now.
That's a full-time job.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was like way back, right? Like,
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember it being like 120 because my grandfather was always, it was just in my family. So
I remember the 120s. And
yeah.
I remember my dad used to
because
do
we're
the
like the
90
same time, James.
90 hours in the 90s. And then it switched in the 2000s to 70 hours.
I remember 90.
I remember them lowering it to 90 when I was real young. And then, like you said, the late 90s, early 2000s, they lowered it to 70. And that's when the time frame I pioneered was then.
I was auxiliary pioneering. It was like 50 hours or something like that. But
Yep. And then they even remember, if you remember, they had like for the circuit overseer visit, they would lower the auxiliary pioneers to 30 hours.
Yeah.
There's
But now
30
it's only
hours.
15. You have no excuse, Jonathan. Get out there and auxiliary pioneer.
I don't get
Right.
together, John. Come on.
And see, the frustrating thing is that is going to be the incentive to force these freaking children to start going door to door earlier than they're prepared to, because, well, look how easy it is now to only 15 minutes. And a child can do it. Yeah, well, child are going to be forced to do it because it's going to be expected. I'm pretty sure there's going to be is there a Caleb and Sophia about this? If not,
There
Sure, it's
actually
coming.
is. I was going to watch it with Clone Commander 5s.
really? Oh, great.
Yeah, there
You got to
is.
think about what if you're overzealous and you get in all your time in 3 months? Does that mean you get to take the rest of the year off?
I would totally do that.
I would totally do that too. Just go hardcore, like 48 hours at a time.
Yeah, you could put in a full-time week, and there you go.
For the 15 hours, you could get 15 hours in like 3 days, and you'd be done for the month.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tammy
Or I
said
could
yes,
just-
Ryan. But what did you say yes, Ryan, to Tammy? Sorry.
Actually, what I used to do though is I'd get it all done. Like we do street witnessing, so we just have F-word all to do while we were downtown, standing on a street corner with our what does the Bible teach books, just kicking it there for like 4 to 6 hours. You do it like 3 or 4 times a week. Boom, easy 32 hours. So yeah, we did that all the time.
Yes, there are child labor laws, so I don't know how they get away with. I don't know.
That's a good
It's
point,
voluntary.
because
Voluntary.
how many kids had to be out all day with their parents when they were really
Oh my
going
gosh, I
hardcore?
used to do 8-hour days.
I was a pioneer in my mom's belly before I was born.
Right?
So you
Yeah,
got
but
your hours
honestly-
stacked up.
But it's in your blood.
I was an unborn publisher.
They were counting you.
I have mentioned this before, but I was
Where's your
baptized
time?
twice
Oh, jeez.
because my mom was
Your mom got
baptized in
baptized
'73 at an international convention,
Oh.
and I think it was in New York, and yeah, she was 6 months pregnant with me, so I'm like, all right.
Oh,
What's
you're a
that first part?
special
Confirm.
baby.
You double
Maybe
dipper
you're
you.
Jesus.
What if the second baptism undid the first one?
Oh,
I
hey, that's a
think
good one.
Jonathan's the new Jesus.
It's a double negative. I like it.
Yeah.
So, so do we have any reason to believe any of these numbers?
No.
Where's the checks and balances?
That's the thing. There is none.
Not really. I mean, I guess the only good faith is that they're technically having to report this to a federal government for tax breaks. So
But I want to know how the hours correlate to that.
that's a great question. I don't actually have a legal answer. I understand. Well, let me qualify this. I understand that based on volunteer hours, and if you use that much, you can show that you're doing something charitable. So if they have a lot of volunteered hours, it demonstrates that they're a charity, so that approves them for their tax breaks, their subsidies, and their charitable status as a charitable religion. I like doing finger quotes.
You make it a cramp having to finger quote all the things that they supposedly do.
I only
That's
have one
exactly-
finger quote for the governing body.
That's exactly my point, because that's why they were being fought in Norway for so long, or Sweden, whatever. If you look on the JW website, but they had been fighting for a while to get the certification, or whatever you want to call it, to be seen that they were actually helping the community with what they did with their hours. And they did win. They did win that case. Whoop-de-doo. But obviously the hours do correlate somehow, because they had to prove that going door to door was helping the community. But I think there was a little bit of fibbing and faking in there. But So that's what I want to know
Brian,
about
the
our
term is
government.
theocratic warfare.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, whenever you say that, you can just do anything. But that's
It helps
that's
the
what we need to
community
know.
wake
If
up on
anybody
Saturday
knows,
morning.
if anybody knows that answer, what are the I want to know what the requirements are for religion in the United States to be considered religion and what they have to do to get the subsidies, like Darth said. The
Actually,
hours,
I might
how do
know
the
a guy.
hours correlate? Why
Yeah.
are they cooking the
2 seconds.
hours?
Be right
This
back,
is what I
guys.
want to know.
Mm.
What?
I was saying I might know a guy. I'm gonna make a call. Back in 2 seconds.
Okay. So if anyone has that answer, I'd love to know the answer. Tammy, are you the one running that protest? Is it in Washington?
You're running a protest? Oh. I like boots
Yes.
on the ground.
Tammy put a message on, commented on one of my videos, and I'm sorry, Tammy, I've been trying to figure out if that's you, and there's too many comments, and it's hard for me to find stuff. I really apologize. So yeah, Tammy, okay, October 31st, 2023. I believe it's in Washington.
Are you going to be broadcasting that online so we can
Yeah.
view it?
I'm thinking of going.
It'll be just after I left the States.
My
Boom.
email.
In DC?
I'll type it. It's Pious Placebo. Pious.
Washington,
my
DC or
tongue.
state?
Oh, good question.
I think DC.
DC.
From what I saw.
Yeah, I do think it's DC because in my head I said it's not far, so that otherwise it wouldn't be close.
Yeah. DC is pretty close for me.
It's very
Yeah, I
far
might-
for me.
Really?
Come
I
on,
thought
you
it was
can
only
do
like
it.
a couple-minute drive for you.
Well, they'll be there in August.
Oh, are Kim and Mikey going too? Okay. Oh shit! Shoot.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that was Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either because I don't know holidays like that. Like even though I know them, I don't know them because we're Jehovah's Witness.
My goodness, Christmas really snuck up on me. Like I know people say this, but it was like my first full-on legit Christmas where I bought a Christmas tree and everything. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I need gifts for people. I can give gifts now.
Yeah, you're allowed to, and you don't have to feel guilt for it.
Forgetful.
Don't worry, I'm 4 years out and it still sneaks up on me. So
Phew.
Yeah, we didn't even put up a tree this year or anything. We just ate dinner as a family, and that made me happy. I was happy about that.
Our tree is still up.
Is it?
It's a combination of I like it being there and I don't feel like dealing with it right now.
Right? Like, who wants to? I don't blame
mine's
you.
still up, but I gotta do some repair because my dogs chewed up the wires to the lights, and I gotta fix that before I
no.
put it away. And I've been so stinking
no.
busy fixing and doing everything else, so I don't have time for a tree.
Puppies.
Yes,
Right.
puppies, lots of puppies.
Okay, so Tammy says
Oh.
anybody who is interested. Oh, nice coincidence.
Oh, fun.
That's also my youngest
Yeah.
son's birthday.
Aw,
Happy
what
birthday.
a good birth. That's a good birthday, or maybe I don't know. I
Right,
was
And
like,
he is
close
a
to that.
devil of a child.
So this is
Oh.
bad birthday. Okay, I'm back. I talked to my guy.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, did I interrupt something?
No, we were just talking about I don't know if you caught, but there's going to be a protest in Washington on the 31st.
I did
October
not, but
31st.
now I'm
October
interested. And
31st.
so I can come in costume.
Why not?
I'm down.
We're
Why
we're glad to have your support as well.
This
And,
is Hector.
There's a lot of good creators and
Yeah, I love all them.
apostates in our group, so we're hoping to expand. So anybody else who feels like they'd be a nice fit amongst the coalition, contact us, and we have I'll put a link to the Discord in the notes later.
Yeah,
Well,
and
so
you don't
if you'd
have
like
to
to-
be an XJW.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just looking for people who've left high control religions. And actually, I'm going to be interviewing probably on this channel Friday, a third generation ex Scientologist.
Nice.
I have been chomping at the bit for months to get her on, to get an interview with her since the summertime. I've been begging her. So finally her schedule has opened up. So we're going to dish about, life of what it's like to be in Scientology and all the weird L. Ron Hubbard's. Oh my God. There's so
Are you
many.
going to be live or just
Yeah,
recording?
I think so. I think so. I was talking to Jonathan about it. I like being able to be interactive with people.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And we've got 31 I'm showing here watching now. So that's a pretty good turnout considering.
yeah, considering we're
Hey, I got to
just
get going, everybody.
501 here.
Oh, we lost one.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. James.
Did you have any final thoughts, James? Because I think we're probably going to wrap it up shortly too.
Yeah, plug your channel, whatever, James.
Plug my channel. Oh, my channel. I got two channels. I got my main one, Former to Free, and it's Former the number 2 free, and I do a lot of interviews on there, and I just do content when I can, and then I have a second channel that I do, and Ryan and we do what's called Apostate Weekly is the name of the channel, and we update on the news every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. And the reason why I do Wednesday mornings is because that's when the governing body is supposed to be out in service and sending extra special blessings to the world for field service. So I'm fighting back with that. So join us. We're actually starting our new year tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So if you're available, please join us.
Cool. Thank you for joining, James.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night, and we'll be in touch.
Yes.
All right. See you soon. Bye. Thank you.
We'll catch you soon. J.W. Noor, you're in New York, so you're not too far from me. I'm in Southern Ontario, so I can get to New York and technically Buffalo in a couple hours, 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
Quick trip to Waffle.
Yeah.
All right, so I did talk to my tax guy. Will remain nameless for apostate purposes, of course. So he's not an expert on charity law. What he does know is that all you really need is to be registered. That's the guaranteed way to be registered with the IRS as a U.S. charity. Now, it's a little fuzzy on the requirements, but there's supposed to be like a certain amount of hours and all that. But as long as you're registered with that, you're golden.
Okay. So it's not necessarily like Norway where they have other, obviously
well, it could be. He's not an expert on the charity side of things. He did other stuff for the IRS, but he knows that's like a good way to make sure that your charity is going to get the tax breaks and the subsidies here in the States anyway, of course. So.
But that's a good idea to look into specifically, because I might not have thought of that myself, but like charity law or whatnot. And I might even be able to make a video on my TikTok and just ask for help and see if, give it to the gods, give it to the universe and see if anybody replies. But okay, that's good info. Thank you for checking.
You can pop it up on Twitter as well. I think some of the people on Twitter might know.
That's a good idea too. I might as well just, you never know what would happen. Yeah.
Manifest it.
I'm gonna manifest it.
I wanted to briefly mention that if you check that hashtag on TikTok, the last time I checked, there was about, I want to say 18 million views or something like that. So it's probably close to 20 million now. So there's a lot of good content on there. I try and put this hashtag on videos here on YouTube as well, so that we can, get more exposure and get more people looking at good stuff.
I wanted to say, just because we have so many people here, If you've checked out the channel, I love to kind of showcase people who are just like us, who are leaving high control religion and maybe have celebrated the first time of doing something they weren't allowed to do before, what have you. But if you want to use that hashtag, Apostate Coalition, please do, because I look all the time for people to share, to try to bring more people together and whatnot. So if you want to make videos and have it showcased, well, you can obviously just tell me here, but but on TikTok, if you use those hashtags, I do search for it. Unless we just start a whole new hashtag, that way it would be easier to find. Whatever.
And if anybody wants to, feels that they have a message that they could add, we're always looking for new contributors to the channel as well. So
yes,
we chat about it in the Discord probably, but yeah.
Using the force to manifest people coming to the channel right now. I feel the numbers increasing. Oh my gosh. Is it happening? Is it happening?
People watching right now.
Oh my God. It happened.
How many people are watching? I'm kind of curious.
Anyhow. Is there anything else? Because you said you wanted to wrap up. I'm not sure if there was anything else you wanted to add about the numbers. Or I think we asked some pretty good questions in regards to what they're doing.
And what was I going to say? Lost my thought.
I thoughty. Did I take it?
No, that's okay. Just they're touting the whole. We've got so many Bible studies, and I think we've established that a lot of that is kids. Is short conversations. Yeah, I talked to that dude for 5 minutes twice, so I'm golden. I got 2 Bible studies this month. And
do you guys ever do?
It's easy to fake. No, go ahead.
Make a friend witnessing, which I was told about at one point, I think around 2018, 2019, where you're just like walking around the city, walking around the mall. It's not quite informal. Or you go on a bus or something, you just sit down next to someone. You're like, hi, how are you? And then just converse rather disingenuously and try and witness to them. So it's like, I was like, that's weird. Like when someone told me that.
It is a little weird.
So how many people are doing make friend witnessing and putting that out as ours?
I have heard of that.
I don't like that at all. That's when you have an agenda and the person doesn't know about it's like when someone invites you to a party and you get there and it's Tupperware.
I'm not that old.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't need another knife block.
I dated myself.
The pampered chef parties.
Pampered chef. Okay, I should have said pampered chef. Anyhow.
Hey, some people I know and are married to like to use pampered chef.
I mean, they got some decent products. It's just like, the Hunbots.
Yeah.
Speaking of another high control group.
Oh, Tammy. I didn't know you were
Who's Pimo?
Tammy is.
Well, you Pimos, I respect what you're going through and the basically you're sort of the guerrilla fighters of the apostate movement. So
really, being inside, having to watch it from the inside, I couldn't.
That makes me think of when the kids are told that your schoolmates, that's your own private territory.
All right.
Yes.
Jehovah's most secret witness.
No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts? We'll cut it short here in a couple minutes. And any final thoughts on the numbers? Pardon?
I just
come again.
I was just going to say, I think it's pretty obvious the reason that they're changing their hour requirements is so that way they can make it seem like they have more publishers in the organization because they're bleeding numbers like crazy. There you go. That's really all I have to say. I think that's it.
I think
Fudging numbers.
Off of that, the the witnesses who are just like so deeply indoctrinated are just going to be looking there. And I've seen the comments on some pages where they're just saying it's a blessing from Jehovah and Jehovah knows what we need. So it's really
always
it's
a
really
blessing.
sad that that's what their takeaway is. But I don't know. It just, to me, it really highlights that it's nothing but a title to be a pioneer. It's nothing but a title. The hours don't matter. Nothing matters. It's just to keep you busy.
Mm-hmm. That's why I took my title. I'm now a former auxiliary pioneer because I used to auxiliary pioneer and I didn't know it because I was reaching the hours. So now when I interview with people, I will make sure I say that I was.
Hell yeah. Same. Oh my gosh.
I'd probably say, I guess if I had to pick one thing, I love the way that now the governing body is actively lying on the broadcast. They're down 2,000 congregations, but they need 15,000 more kingdom halls. Do they really? Are they going to need another 30,000 congregations? Not so much. Oh, we started another 1.5 million new Bible studies to replace the what? The 4 million that you're down? I'm just loving that they're actively lying now, and you can demonstrably prove it. So
one kingdom hall per publisher.
Yeah, even if they're massaged, they still aren't massaged enough to make a difference. So that's some good stuff.
And there's no happy ending.
It's a sad ending. A very sad ending. And with that,
can't follow that up.
I just want to mention one last thing. Where is it? Can someone? Oh yeah, here we go.
My rib.
I generally don't put the Discord link in the description because the way that it's set up currently, the link is only good for a week. So someone will watch this video a week from now and then it's no good. It'll say it's expired. So what I do is I put my link tree, which that way I can update that every time. And then that link's still good for any amount of time.
Because it is a safe space. You know, we have like different chat rooms for different things because everybody's in a different place of their journey. So some things aren't appropriate all the time. I mean, you know what I mean? We talk about everything, but I'm just saying, you know, we're LGBTQIA safe place, et cetera, et cetera.
And I think we found the, you know, every good movie has whatever it's called, you know, colon something else. And this will be Apostate Coalition, Watchtower Can't Stop Lying.
Yes, that's a tagline.
Yes, that's the tagline. I love it.
So I think with that,
Thanks,
we're gonna call it. We're at just about an hour and 8 minutes. So I want to thank everybody for coming to watch the live here. This was a lot of fun, and I think we'll do it again soon. Thank you for our panel of experts and Jedi or Sith, rather. Sorry. And we will catch you next time. So with that, I'm going to do the outro thing. So bye for now.
Listen, obey, be blessed.
Woo, woo.
We're watching Watchtower.
Yes.
I don't know what to do.
Life can bring us down, but turn it around. Life can bring us down, but turn it around.